Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and we're doing a no-run-through review for the newest expansion to Summoner Wars, the Tundra Orcs versus the Phoenix Elves, which is apparently a starter set. It comes with tokens, a paper mat, but apparently, you can get the starter set instead of buying the whole box, so that's kind of cool. Of course, I have the starting set. So these were just two extra factions. So Josh and I played these two. Yeah, these two against each other. We haven't tried them against anyone else. But coming straight from the box, and if I'm not mistaken, I had friends tell me about the first edition of Summoner Wars and about the Phoenix Elves and how they were broken in that edition. I don't know if they're necessarily broken in here, but specifically with these two fighting, the Tundra Orcs suck ass, and the Phoenix Elves are vastly superior. In every game we played, the Phoenix Elves, and by swapping, because it wasn't just player skill or anything, by swapping.
I would like to preface, I'm only good at Magic the Gathering.
These are, the Phoenix Elves are just superior, and even then, like, if you take the Phoenix Elves out of the equation and you compare the Tundra Orcs to other factions, like, from the base game, the Orcs suck. Like, they are not fun to play in any way.
Well, so, one of the two biggest grievances is, his ability to boost is only if he moves.
Right.
And hers is if she attacks, but her second ability literally is right afterwards, or at the end of the attack phase.
Right.
I mean, technically you can spend his also.
Yeah, if he just moves, he can help people re-roll. But her being able to summon people back, because the game is built around utilizing your summoner effectively. It's one of the strengths of the game. You run out with your summoner and use them as an effective, like a fighter, like regular units. You're most likely going to lose. Because how quickly you can just summon units to swarm them. So you almost always want to keep them in the back, and there's some summoners that are more effective in getting them involved a little bit more than others. Specifically, I do think these two are good at coming out to help fight, but being able to protect your summoner with cannon fodder units is crucial, and her being able to be like, oh, I attacked, oh, now I'm also going to pop someone back to me and corner up, with gates, and then just, oh, okay, now they're here.
Yeah, I'm going to pull my Ember Mage, which has guard.
Yeah.
Takes 1 damage if it's attacked.
Yeah.
Only once.
Yeah, so you have
the first time.
You have to swarm a 2 health, creature. And so, because you can only attack with 3 units, you've effectively just that 1 unit being like, oh, okay, I'm going to turtle with her and bring an Ember Mage, and there's a shit ton of them in the deck that it's like, I think there's 3 or 4. There's at least 3.
I think there's 4.
And it's like, okay, well, that's incredibly annoying.
There are 4.
So Grognak's ability of letting units roll, like just re-roll by spending a boost, I
don't think it's good enough.
I don't think it's good enough. I mean, he can stack boosts every time he moves.
She can too.
Right. And then it's like, okay, yay, they get to re-roll. And even then, it's like, it's not even like that good. Because, you have their shamans who are 4 health and 3 attack.
I actually don't think his stacks. It's only if he is unboosted.
Oh, that's right.
Hers is infinite.
Yeah, so he gets a one-time re-roll. And even then, he's penalized again by having, like Frost Shamans, who, they're 1 cost magic, 4 health, 3 attack, that's pretty good, but if they don't roll a surge, then it's like, okay, they do nothing. So he's basically trying to keep his Shamans to do something. Now, granted...
Just, like, slap him on the back.
Right, hey, how about you
fucking stop?
Hit him. Now, once again, his strength is that he has 14 health. And he hits hard.
He's got a huge health meter.
But the health doesn't matter in this game because you almost always hit.
Yeah.
You may not hit for max damage, but you're almost always going to hit. So being able to, like 14 health, Yeah, I mean, in 2 attacks, it's just like, okay.
I think in the, like, all the games we played, we whiffed, both of us whiffed once.
Yeah.
And it was both at range, I think.
And don't get me wrong, I very much prefer that in a game like this, because there's nothing worse than rolling die, like trying to strategically move and missing all the time.
Oh yeah, that would be infuriating.
Exactly. So whiffing every now and then, like very rarely, it's just like you're not upset about it. You're just like, oh, okay.
Goddamn dice.
Yeah, and because I'm trying, so what the Tundra Orcs are built around is swarms. They don't need high magic to be able to bring in a bunch of units.
I think the highest costing thing in there was maybe 6.
But they have mercenaries. Splinter. Or the rat.
Con Queso.
Yeah, Con Queso. After this unit moves, roll 2 dice, add damage to each adjacent... but they're mercenaries, so...
Sell swords.
Yeah.
Highest bidder. The other one is literally like, hey, you can spend magic and summon me.
Yeah, well, not summon you, they take control of it.
Oh.
Which, can be effective, because it means if I had this person out, it's 1 cost champion unit, 5 health, 3 attack, and it's like, okay, well, I put her in a smart position, then you can either burn your magic to just take control of her, or just allow me to. But that could easily backfire, because it's like, oh, I'm going to back up, and then you're like, oh yeah, I think I'll take the magic, and now I'll have her attack and kill your unit. He does have other, like, champions, like Shonk. When this unit attacks, add 1 damage to the target for each surge rolled instead. But he rolls 8 dice, which is insane. Like, literally all dice. So in this case, it would be 1 damage. 1 damage, because he only hits on surges instead of melee attacks.
I see.
Yeah, it's not in addition. So he rolls a lot, but 1, 2 damage. And he has 11 health. I just don't like anything.
It doesn't feel balanced whatsoever.
Yeah. The freeze spell, the event, or the freeze should be... there should be like 4 of these in this fucking thing.
Freeze should...
Because if you're supposed to... swarm them with weak units, there's 2 of them in here. Like if you're gonna try and move like your summoner back, and it's like, oh, actually, but then she can't be attacked.
Yeah.
So really, what you do with that is you keep her in there, and then you swarm her with your units and wait till their next turn.
I see the theming they were trying to do, because like I have an ability or an event called Burn, 2 damage to a unit within X amount of spaces away from my summoner. Whereas you have Freeze, the difference is mine is just damage. It's direct damage. Mm-hmm. Freeze makes it to where the unit can't move, attack, or be attacked.
Oh, sorry. It's not. It can't even be your summoner.
And it's like, well, if they're frozen, that's when you want to attack them.
Right.
They can't attack back. It shouldn't. It definitely should have an errata where it's like, I can attack this unit all I want.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna try and shatter it.
Yeah.
This reminds me, you were talking about like the burn and the freeze kind of thing. It reminds me of like death battles, like on YouTube, whenever they just come up with a theme and find 2 fighters, but you obviously know one of them is way more powerful than the other. One is
like dumb.
It's just like, oh man, let's do like fire, benders. Let's do Zuko versus the guy from My Hero. And it's like, well, Zuko can only do fire, but the other guy can do fire and ice. I wonder who's going to win that. Where it's very obvious that there's a powerful...
there's a definite gap in power somewhere.
Yeah. It's just, for the Tundra Orcs, I feel like they're too restricted. Because they're not the only... And they're not unique in that they summon a bunch of people.
No, because every deck does that.
Well, yeah, almost every deck does it. But
goblins do the exact
same. The goblins
same.
do it. The rat, I think his name's Rat Skellic. I think is his Ret Talus. He's the necromancer. He does it. So there's
orcs, just like a mild sub theming to each of them. Mm-hmm. It's like, I can bring my stuff back from the discard pile.
Yeah, Smasher is pretty good because he costs 3, 6 health, 4, but once again, he takes extra damage.
He takes extra damage, and then like you have cards like this that take Smasher, fucking X amount of dice. Yeah. Oh, it's always 1 damage.
So the Tundra Orcs suck. The Phoenix Elves are really good.
Oh, yeah. Like, I don't know if they're busted as compared to... Because I didn't play the first edition of this.
Yeah, no, I don't remember either. I was just told specifically because a friend of mine hated he loved first edition, hated the Phoenix Elves because I don't remember why he said they were broken.
It's probably something similar to this. Very unbalanced.
I can't imagine that they would change too much. You're right.
Asymmetrical nature of how they're built.
So in this particular instance, the Phoenix Elves are also quick at getting units out.
Oh, yeah.
Very quick damage, like your Ember Archers is just like move and then just ping with someone for 1 damage.
I'm not going to lie, I was really surprised. I was like, he didn't play as many units as I did when you played the Elves and I played the Orcs.
Mm-hmm. No, I actually didn't, yeah.
You did not play... I played way more units than you did.
I burnt them. I got more champions out.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, that's something with Summoner Wars. The more I play it, the more... And I like it, but it can be frustrating if you are... How your gameplay goes is going to be luck depending on what you draw. So, like, the first game we played with them, we had no extra gates.
No.
And then whenever we swapped and played again, it was just like boom, boom. Like
we literally, both our first turns, we had 3 gates on the board.
Yeah. And then, yeah, I brought out champions. I brought a few champions out here, but... it's like, oh man, I got this. I saved up. I got this champion out. Oh, burn. Okay, 2 damage, and then I'll just block everything with the Ember Mage. It felt with the Tundra Orcs against the Elves. It felt like it made the moving and the attacking like very restrictive,
very pointless on your end.
Right? Because I'm just like, okay, well, I can't do anything because you can summon and block your summoner, or I can do the same thing. And I like the Phoenix Elves. I think they're really good, but because they're a burn deck, like in Magic, they're very quick damage. But in a game like this, where I know one major change they made to Summoner Wars was less health, because they wanted the game to feel quicker. So units die all the time.
Yeah.
So having a quick burn deck is very powerful because you gain magic every single time. Your cards kill an enemy unit. So it's like, oh, yay! Like, I summoned all this stuff. I mean, whenever you summon a bunch of units, like, I'm like, oh, okay. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. Okay, that's 3 magic. Thanks. It felt incredibly unbalanced, specifically from this starter set, which is incredibly frustrating because if people don't want to buy the base game, they want to be like, oh, I'll try the starter set. I feel like they're going to be very upset.
They're like, wow, these elves are great. These orcs suck.
Yeah, and these are the only 2 decks I have. So
then you're either feel compelled to be like, well, I have to buy the whole game now just to see how they compete against other things.
Right.
Or you lose a customer because they're like, this game fucking sucks because half of it doesn't work right.
Yeah. And I mean, and the orcs are also not the only faction to be dealing with, like, ice and stuff. There's literally another ice. Like, the girl at the top of the box, I believe she's ice. No, she's humans.
It's
this girl.
This one.
Yeah, they look actually identical. Like, in the face.
She's got braids.
Yeah. Yeah, the face.
Is white.
The face itself looks like... I think it's the exact same person.
It's probably...
maybe they're twins or something.
Just artists.
In the lore.
I don't know.
But yeah, so she also does ice things. But she does, like, ice walls and stuff. But I mean, because there's constant... The events in the... Can I see the Phoenix Elves deck, please?
Absolutely.
There's constant events in here that I just felt were way better. Divine Retribution, okay, yep, if you attack my summoner or
anything
units that your unit takes a damage. Divine Retribution, I already just said that. Even their champion, Finessa, is really good. 9 health, and if you attack her, if she's still alive, pings you for a damage.
Yeah. And with some of your units only having 2 health, that's devastating.
Yeah, especially because if you, like, your units, at least for the Tundra Orcs, if they want to be, like, rampagey and, like, chaotic, you shouldn't, like, some of them that are, like, the charging ones should be, like...
Blood Rush. They take a damage, but their health is 2.
It's 2.
So you already have their
they're
health.
free. But if you're drawing cards and you're not drawing all of them at once to then boom and then have them rush forward, then you're very limited.
Say, on my first turn in our first game, I quite literally had 7 units on the board.
Yeah, because you summoned 4.
You only had 4?
3.
3?
Yeah.
You didn't even summon anything on your first turn.
No. Because I started using my summoner, like, right away. And then the Royal Guards are really good. Like, they attack. I mean, they roll 1 die, but you're most likely going to hit. And it's like, oh, okay, I hit you for 1, first of all.
I shove you and deal another.
And you deal another damage, which then kills every single unit the Tundra Orcs have, pretty much. Ember Beasts, if they start their move adjacent to anyone, then they deal a damage.
Then they get to move.
Yeah, then they get to move. And then hopefully, live to then hit everyone around.
They can be summoned by any other friendly Ember unit.
Yeah.
And one of the... I believe that there's a champion in there, Ember Drake, so you can just play an Ember Beast next to the dragon.
Yeah, and this unit, the Fire Drake, can be summoned adjacent to your summoner. This unit may attack through units. When it does, a surge adds 1 damage to each unit between this unit and its target, so it could just melt an entire... And it has 10 health, 8. It costs 8 to summon, and it does 4. Rolls 4 dice.
But still, though,
Holies, you may summon Ember units adjacent to this unit. So
that's like a second summoner.
They're just so quick. Like, imagine if you got the queen out and put a gate on the opponent's side, summoned her adjacent to that gate, and then you just start summoning Ember units.
Whole army on your side of the field.
Yeah.
What do the orcs got? Oh, I can move
freeze
and then boost my boy over here. He ain't hitting shit.
Right, the Frost Shaman.
And then I re-roll everything and he misses a second time and it's like, God fucking...
Yeah. I mean, some of their events are really good. Primal Furious, but Grognak should have like 20 health.
Yeah, 14's a little light when you've got...
Specifically against him. 14 is most likely decent against...
Every other.
I would imagine. Like I said, we haven't played these against. We played them specifically to focus on the new event.
The new
Smasher is
set.
good. I'll take a 3 cost 6 health person because you're not always going to roll surges, so he can stick around for a while. That's all I got, man. These orcs suck. But yeah, I was trying to look through for some of their events. Brutal Force. Like, if you can somehow flank, like, their units, like, let's say flank the summoner with regular common ones, which most likely won't happen because most people don't bring their summoner out.
Yeah.
But if you could do that, that's the only thing I can think of. Is if let's say you flanked the queen, and you just dealt piddly damage, but each time you attack her, she gets forced, and you can force her out, like, and then it's like, oh, hey, now you're next to Grognak, and then he hits you for 4. But that's not gonna happen.
No.
There's just no way, because then they're gonna be dead before they can even get there.
The fact that these Phoenix Elves have resilience and the damage output that they do makes them a very high caliber faction.
Yeah.
So I can honestly see these going toe to toe with almost all of these probably, and probably beating several of them fairly easy.
Yeah. Because I've played everyone. I've not played the water chick, but I've played or seen played everyone else. And they're all good. Like, all 6 of those I feel are balanced. But these 2 I just do not see balanced against each other.
Yeah.
So, really what it comes down to is don't buy this if you don't own the base game.
Yeah.
I don't remember what this costs. I think $30, which
this is not a starter set.
Yeah, just scratch that out.
This is a supplement.
Yeah. It's an expansion to that. Because then you get more factions, which is always good. I know the first edition had a bunch. It hasn't changed my opinion of Summoner Wars. This is also a skirmish game. I guess there is a second one that I really like.
I don't mind it. Like, Summoner Wars is really fun.
Yeah.
Because
even though you pre-built it, maybe, I know they're adding, I don't know if they've added it yet, but they did plan on adding deck customization. It's not just pre-built. These are pre-built. Phoenix Elves are really good pre-built. But maybe you can combine cards to make the Tundra Orcs good. But as it sits, you are buying the starter set specifically just to have more of the game.
Yeah.
In our opinion. Yeah. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, we'll rank both of them separately, because I can't really rank the starter set as a whole. So it's just easier to rank the individual factions.
Okay. So the master set versus the starters.
No. The two. Yeah, the Phoenix Elves and the Tundra Orcs.
We'll rate them separately?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Phoenix Elves, I'm going to give a 9.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're super good.
Fucking stacked.
But it's frustrating to fight against them, because it's like, it was always something. It's just like, oh man, I might be able to, nope, okay. And then, I even got rid of your main gate, just trying to freaking get, like...
access.
Yeah, just trying to clear out your gates, just to get them out of the way. Maybe that's just what they do. Maybe you just send them forward just to constantly destroy their gates, so then they can't summon anywhere. But then, once again, the counteract to that is the Phoenix Elf have units that
summon directly
next to them. So it's like, okay, great, they're walking gates.
Yeah, she's a mobile gate, and then you have 4 gates in your deck.
And I got shamans who can't hit.
Unless they roll a fucking...
once again, it did happen, but with that roll, that would be an amazing, a ranged roll, except in this case, I didn't roll a surge, so they miss. Yeah, so the Phoenix Elves, you said a 9?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree with you there. 9. It's not perfect, but it's, they're fucking stacked.
They're really good. Yeah. The Tundra Orcs, I'm going to give them a 4. I think they're a below average, even if, I can see potentially some combos going off, but you have to search, and they're not fun. I didn't have fun playing them.
I actually really agree with that. I was thinking a 4 also, just right below average.
Mm-hmm. It's cool having a summoner that has a shit ton of health, but his ability is kind of ass.
Yeah.
Because re-rolling sounds good initially, but you're almost... you're guaranteed to do damage. And there was an instance where I used his reroll to try and one-shot your Royal Guard, and it worked. And I was like, yay! But since he can't stack them to just constantly reroll against...
the fact that she can stack her boosts and he can't is... That alone's a heavy, heavy unbalance.
Yeah.
I get it. He's got more health. He's got... mobile troops.
To be fair, and this is actually a really annoying way to play this game, and it's happened. I've actually played a game like it. Because he has 14 health, all you do is you just summon the piddly units to go forward, and you time out the game. Because if there's no units left alive, and you cannot attack, your summoner takes damage. So really all you do with him is, since he has 14 health, he'll be able to outlast. So if we just killed everyone's units and he had to run away and then she had to chase after him, then he just summoned something for free just to guard like she would, it's like, okay, now we just time it out to I'll have 5 extra health if none of us got hit and we just took the attack damage. In 9 rounds you would be dead and I'd still have 5 health.
Yep.
And that's just a shitty way to stall out a game. And I would hate if I knew someone was doing that, with the orcs, I'd be like, you win, and then I would get out.
Yeah, there's very, very few games where you ever want it to go to time.
Yeah,
hardly ever. You would love for it to go to time if it was close, but it's not. Right. It's not close.
Yeah, at that point. If you're playing a really close game and then time happens to run out, and then they're like, okay, and you're like, oh shit, I had 22 health and you have 23. That'd be frustrating, but at least you were still fighting back and forth, but literally just using him to run around and then just kind of oh, time to summon, a shaman, just real quick, have him come out, and then because he'd have a reroll. And just to keep your summoner at bay, just to keep him from running around. It's like, oh, you couldn't attack me. You take a damage. That would be, and it has come down to a game like that, and it's very frustrating.
I bet it was. Luckily, we have not had that. It wasn't
frustrating. It was boring.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of, we both had I had very little health, so it came down to the summoners of a grudge match, but it got very boring. So, but yeah. What is that? That'd be a 9, 13 divided by 2. So, I mean, that would, I guess, make the starter set a 6.5 if you averaged it out like that.
It's slightly above average.
Yeah.
Total, because the elves are so good.
The elves are so good, yeah. And I was like, whenever we were playing, I was like, I feel like that was the faction that I heard was broken. I'm like, well, they probably fixed it. Well,
No.
At least not against these two. Alright, so that's our thoughts on the Tundra Orcs and the Phoenix Elves, everyone. Let us know what you think of them in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.